Today, we're going through step by step using the free version of Elementor to create a landing page in WordPress. Here's what it's going to look like. This is a very simple landing page. We just have the logo for Justine, our fake career counselor here. Here's her book on the left, her book cover on the left, and then on the right, we have the sign up form and a little bit of text kind of promoting the value. So this is essentially a lead magnet. It's a very simple ask for a very simple delivery. And this form, this contact form here, is actually going to be connected to MailerLite. MailerLite is going to provide this form for us. You don't have to use MailerLite in order to do this. If you use Mailchimp, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, etc., they all have this very similar capability. So you can use the same approach with whoever your email service provider is. MailerLite has a free account, so we can use the free version of Elementor, the free account on MailerLite, and we can test out our concept here without having to go through and spend, a lot of money or to make a long yearly commitment. So let's get started. All right, this is the landing page that we're going to create. It's very simple. It's a simple landing page because it's a simple ask. In exchange for somebody's email address, we're going to give them this guide. Note on the page here that we don't have any other navigation. The logo isn't a link. There's no link to any other pages. And the reason behind that is if we're paying for clicks to come to our page, for advertising on Instagram or Facebook or Google or whatever, if we're paying for people to come to this page, we want them to either, do the thing we want them to do, in this case, sign up, or if they don't want to, that's fine, but they need to then, hit their browser back button or close the tab or whatever. We don't want to have navigation here because we don't want to pay for them to arrive on our site, only for them to just say, well, let me browse around and look at the about page and this, that, and the other thing, and then kind of forget why they were here, and then they go off and do something else. So we want to be very focused on this page. As far as the layout of this page goes, we're going to get more into this. But at the top here, we have a logo that's centered. There's actually a box that we can't see right now, but the logo is inside this box, centered on the page. And then underneath it, we have two boxes side by side. One has the image and one has the form. So working with Elementor is very easy. We basically create boxes and then we fill them. So let's get started. All right, so here we are at our pages section of our WordPress admin, and we're going to click to add a page here. Give this page a title, Rocket Your Career. I'm going to save this as a draft. And the reason that I want to do that is I want to get this slug, this Rocket Your Career slug set up. And now I'm going to choose to edit this page with Elementor. And again, this is the free version of Elementor. You can see it's prompting me to upgrade here and there. And that's fine. We're just going to use the free stuff. When we first get to this page, we see that we have a logo up on top and get your free guide, navigation up here. Like, we don't want this, right? We just talked about how we want this to be a very basic page. And so how we get there is we go to page settings, and under page layout, we're going to choose Elementor Canvas. And that's going to get rid of the header and the footer that come with the website. And now we're starting off very much with a blank slate. So as we spoke about before, what we're going to do is create boxes and fill them. So I'm going to create a box here, and we're going to use Flexbox for this whole session here. We're going to choose, in this case, just a full width, one box. And we're going to say the direction of the column goes down. Kind of doesn't matter, but that's what we're going to choose for this one. And now this is where we want to put our logo. So I'm going to add an element. I'm going to click the plus button up here. I'm going to add an element, and what I want to add is an image. So I'm going to click and drag the image, right? So I made a box and I filled it. And obviously this is far too large right now, but that's fine. So I'm going to choose my logo and hit select. My logo's in here. Again, far too large. That's fine. I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to create a custom resolution on this. I'm going to leave the width blank, and I'm going to put in 100 for the height. That's going to make the height of this image 100 pixels. And then the width will be whatever it has to be to keep this aspect ratio. So I'm going to click apply. And then here we have our logo up at the top. It's pretty crowded up to the top of the page. And also, if we notice, our page here has a light yellow background color. So let's take care of these items before we move on. So I'm going to go back up to page settings here. And in this sidebar, the sidebar is where we're going to do a lot of the work here in all of these boxes. So in this sidebar, we're going to click on the Style tab, and we're going to choose a background type of classic. And then we're going to choose a color. And then we can use the sliders to pick a color that we like. Or if we have a brand color, we can just enter that in. And I'm going to do that right now. So I just have the hex code of the color here. I'm just going to paste that into place and hit enter. And now here's our light yellow color that's going to be on the whole page behind all of these boxes that we create. And now, as far as giving the logo some more room, we're going to click on this top container. I call it a box. It's a container. Either term works. And we're going to go to, again, we have this tabbed layout here where we're going to do all of our work. I'm going to go over to the Advanced tab, and I'm going to add some margin to the top and the bottom of this container or this box. So I'm going to unlink the values. If we leave the values linked together and I put in a number, then we have this on the top, right, bottom, and left. And that's not what we want to do here. We just want to have a value in the top and the bottom. So in the top here, I'm going to put 50 pixels. And in the bottom, I'm going to put 50 pixels as well. All right, so that's done. Now we want to create these two boxes that are side by side underneath this logo. So I'm going to click the plus button here, a flex box, and now I'm going to click these two equal size boxes. And that's great. This has been created for us, and actually we have a container, and inside of that container, we have other containers. So it's a box with two boxes inside. So fantastic. On the left side here, we want to have our image. So click on Element, find the image widget, click and drag it over. And now we're going to choose our image. In this case, it's going to be our career, Rocket Your Career book cover image. And by the way, I just created this on Canva. I used one of their free templates and put that together. And you're welcome to have this image if you would like it. There's a blog post that accompanies this video. So click on the link underneath, go over to the blog post, and you'll be able to download the image and stuff there for free. There's not going to be any sign up or anything. You can just have it. And so now we're going to continue on into this other container here. We need to, let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to add a heading. We're going to add some text underneath it, maybe another heading. We're going to have our form and then some text underneath that. So, okay, let's go back over here to the elements. We're going to take heading. I'm going to click and drag that over. And it's the wrong color. It's the wrong size, but that's fine. We want this to say Rocket Your Career. So on the left where we do the work, I'm going to say Rocket Your Career. And that's great. I would like for this to be centered, and I would like for it to be a different color. And I would also like for it to be a little bit larger. So I'm going to make this starting off an H1 tag. It's the highest level of heading on this page. And then I'm going to come over to the Style tab. And here's where I can change the font size and weight and the text color and that kind of thing. So I'm going to click on this blue. This blue color is one of the default colors that comes with Elementor. And I'm just going to click that down and make that black. And for our typography here, I'm going to use a font called Oswald. You can use any font you want. This one matches up somewhat with the font that we used on Canva. So we're going to use Oswald. I'm going to make the text bigger. I switched from pixels to M's. There's also rems or viewport width. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You can just set it as a pixel size. You can set it as EM size or whatever. So about, let's call it 3.5, maybe 3.5 M's seems to work. That's great. And we're going to center this text up in this section here. So that's great. Underneath now, we want to have get the free guide. So I'm going to go back up. I'm going to add another heading widget. I'm going to stick it, click it, and drag it right underneath this one. And get the free guide. And now we want to do the same thing that we did before. We go back over to the Style tab. We're going to choose the color. We're going to choose the font. And we're going to center it underneath. And this default size, that looks fine to me. Okay, the next thing after this now is we want to get our form in here. But if we look at Elementor, we come down here to the Pro section. The Pro section is where you find a form, and we don't have the Pro version of Elementor, but that's fine because we're also using a service called MailerLite. MailerLite is an email service provider, and there are lots of companies, lots of ESPs out there. You may have heard of Mailchimp or ActiveCampaign or Constant Contact or so many of these others. They will all have a similar functionality where you can create a form over there. So in this case, we're going to create a form on MailerLite, and we're going to embed that form onto our web page. So again, MailerLite is just the service I use, and many of my customers use it, and I find that it's reliable. And I like the design tools and automation and that kind of thing, so that's why I use it. So I'm logged into just sort of a test plan that I have here, and I'm going to click on Forms, then Embedded Forms. Now we have one here, but to get started, you would click Create Form. And what we're going to do is we're going to edit this form. When you create a form from scratch, there's going to be a title up at the top. I just deleted the title that was there. And in the design here, we can change the form background and the form layout colors. So I just, again, copied that same color I used on the page background and inserted that into here. We can edit the input. What should the font color be? What should the background color be in each field? What should the font size be, etc. So you can style this sort of however you want. There's border color. So, you can go crazy here and you can make this match your brand colors perfectly, however you need to do that. The call to action, I think the default is going to say like sign up or something like that. We've changed the text to I'm ready to launch. And I'm just sticking with the same sort of black background here that comes standard with the form. There's a lot of settings that go along with a form that are available to you. So you can add, text about a privacy policy there. You can make people, double click the box or check the box, sort of get that extra consent from them. If you're in a GDPR region or a region that needs to comply with the GDPR, so we have an option for that here as well. And a custom success page, we're not going to use that today, but if you have a custom success page, then you enter that URL here. Now, where that can be handy is if you want to track conversions. So if you're using an analytics program, you can track how many people arrived on our landing page from, Google or Instagram or wherever. And then if we also track how many people make it to the landing page or to the thank you page, success page, then we'll know sort of, the percentage of people that converted. So if 100 people came to our landing page and 50 of them went to the success page, then we know that we had a conversion rate of 50%. So that can be very helpful, but of course you have to create a new page. We're not going to do that here, but that option is available to you. That's it. We're done editing. We've created this form here. We have two fields, name and email, and there's a strong case to be made for getting rid of the name field here if you want to do that. The more fields you have on a form, the fewer people will sign up. So if we get rid of the name field, if we just have the email field here, it makes it a little bit more likely that somebody's going to complete the conversion here and sign up for the form. And then clicking on the launch button here is where we change that text. All right, so we're done editing. So let's go and put this form on our website. And how we do that is we have instructions here. We can use either JavaScript or HTML code. And HTML code is easiest, so that's what we're going to use here. We're going to just click to copy. And now we're going to go back to our page, back up here, and we want to find the HTML widget. So I'm just going to search on HTML. So we got HTML. Now we want to put that on our page. Here's the code, and we just paste the code that was given to us by MailerLite. And there's our form. When you're using this HTML method, one thing to remember is if you go back and change this form, like say you did get rid of that name field, then after you save your changes, you need to copy this again and select all of this, delete it, and replace it with the new. So just bear in mind that you need to go through those steps. Okay, underneath this, we're going to have the 10 easy steps you can take. So let's go and add that. In this case, that's going to be a text field. Again, we'll add an element. We'll find the text editor. We'll click and drag that underneath our form. We'll put our text in here. And again, this, the color and what have you doesn't look great here. So we'll go on the left where we do the work and we'll click on style. We'll click on text color. And again, I'm just going to make that black. Nice and easy to read. For the typography, we're going to go back to the Oswald font here. These are Google fonts, by the way. They're free to use. We're going to increase the size of this a little bit. Yeah, say 1.5 looks good. And it's a little bit over to the left here. So I'm going to add some padding around this in order to move this text over. So I'll go over to the Advanced tab. I'll find padding. I'll unlink all of the values. And on the right side, on the left side here, I'm going to add 75 pixels. And that kind of moves our form over. We can maybe even go a little bit more than that. So maybe 100. And that has our text a little bit more centered underneath our form. So that's great, right? Our page is pretty much built here. The only thing we need to do, and this is really important, is we need to make sure that it's also going to look good on a mobile device. And we can do that just by clicking on the mobile portrait view button up here. And there's a couple things here that I see already that we want to take care of. First off, this text is way too far over on the mobile view. But if we go back over and look at padding, we see we have this mobile icon next to it. So we can change the padding for mobile devices. And I'm just going to change this to 0, see how that looks. Maybe I want a little bit more, so I'm going to unlink to the left. I had like 20. That looks okay. Maybe a little less would be fine too, but you can tweak this to work with your text. The next thing I want to do is I would rather that this image not be on top when a person arrives at the page. I really want them to see the form, and I would like for this image to be underneath. And how we change that is very simple. We're going to edit our container here. And our direction right now is we have a horizontal row. And again, we're only editing this for mobile devices. So really, we have a vertical column is what this turned into. And I just want to reverse this vertical column. So if I click to reverse this now, the section, the container that has our form in it now moves up to the top and our image moves down to the bottom. Take a look, see how we like things on a tablet view. Again, I don't really like this padding anymore. So let's start making that 0. And then again, maybe 20 might be, oops, not 200. Unlink. That's what happens if you don't unlink. Unlink, put in 20 pixels. Yeah, close enough. That looks pretty good. And then on a desktop view, things look good here as well. So that's it. We've created our landing page, and we just need to hit the publish button here. All right, so that's it. We've created our page and we've published it. Let's go test it out and make sure that it works. Here's our Rocket Your Career page. We're going to click to view that. We're going to put in our name here. Click the I'm ready to launch button. And that's it. Thank you. Check your email for the guide. Now, we had this option here on MailerLite, if you recall, where we could have sent the visitor to a success page, a different success page. One great use for that is you go over to pages, you create a thank you page. You can put the form right on that thank you page so that when the person subscribes, they're taken to that page and then they can download the ebook or the PDF or whatever right from there. So that's a great option to use as well. If we go over to our forms, to our test form, to our analytics, we see that we've had 2 subscribers now, a test that I did earlier, and then our second test here today. So that's it. Very high level, how to create a simple landing page in Elementor. I hope you found this helpful. Again, there's a companion blog post that goes along with this. This page template will be available for you to download from that blog post. Again, just free, just go have it and download it so that you can have something to start with when you create your landing page. Thanks again for your time and attention today. I appreciate it. Have a great day.